yesterday, and the pickup width was a little bit of a challenge. It may be the straw swath from the harvester. Is a little bit more, is narrower and thus more forgiving in your position. Yesterday we were using a merge max to make the rows, and we were missing chunks of grass at times, kind of like that. Oh, poo. I think I may have recovered that to get all of the straw in that corner. That's good. Okay. So what do you reckon? Probably about 7 bales from this field. Maybe. I don't really mind, so long as we get some, although we did use an awful lot last year, so in some ways I'm kind of looking for a few serial contracts where we can recover the straw, just to make our supplies a little bit more plentiful. It's nearly full again, so anyway, stop. But this is definitely a good use of what is effectively a free crop for us. We didn't plant it. I think we fertilized it and we sprayed it for weeds, but that's all we did on this field. And it is mostly good. I mean, looking at that yield, the yield was in the green. I'm going to need to adjust for that one. Alrighty. So, second lap. Oh, and incidentally, the straw that the hay we created yesterday was 102 large square bales from the bale counter on the baler. Unfortunately, we don't get credited on game stats with that count. Why are you going so slow? Because I'm sliding backwards. Already full. So, I mean, as per usual, we've seen all of this before. The next bit is going to be where it gets a little bit interesting, because it's going to be something we've never really done before. Never ever done before. So, sometimes I think maybe I should always fit a spike when I'm baling so that doesn't happen. Well, that's out of the way, I suppose. Yay. But then we come over here with the mower. I'm going to have to put the rake on this Massey to rake up the whole crop. At least that's the plan. and one of the reasons I want the straw off the field, because running the rake is it's a good rake, but being precise with it can sometimes be an issue, especially if we were raking to the right of where we are now. I may catch some straw in the rake before I complete raking the whole crop, so I just don't want to what's the word for it, adulterate the crops that we're producing, and again with not paying attention. So hopefully I should be able to push this straight ahead, and now you're out of the way. Keep going, just get out of the way, move. Yay. Alrighty. And this really is a wonderful little baling setup, but yeah, the agility of the Massey is just what this baler needs. Am I going to get to 11,000 litres before we hit the end of the field? Ooh, maybe. Yes. Too early. And done. Okay. I'll finish off the straw that I can see ahead of me, just because that's going to be putting product into the baler, which will then convert when we start baling up the whole crop. At least I hope it does. 612 litres, that's easy sufficient. Run, dear, run! Okay. Oh, poo! Little white car. Yeah, that. Good job. Out of the way, little white car. Alrighty, let's try this new thing. Oh, yeah, that's the other thing we're going to have to do. Once we've mowed all of this, I'm not sure I'll be able to what's the word for it? Do the thing on this field. Mowing this mower also mulches. So I'm not sure whether I'll be able to mulch all of this field or not. I guess we'll find out as we do the cutting here. But for now, none of that. I'm going to turn conditioning on. I have no idea if it makes any difference whatsoever. We'll activate the mower. I will not kill any crop driving through it. Good. And we get green stuff out the back. Now sometimes the best way I've found in previous iterations of Farming Simulator to find out what I've just done here is to go and get a front loader with a bucket and pick some of that stuff up and see what it tells me it is. Because, yeah, there's no way to tell. Also didn't notice, am I getting a yield map coming from here? Yes, we are. And it's saying we're getting good yield. So I'm not too disappointed with that. And you know what I'm going to do? Activate GPS. Pull up the GPS thing. Auto width that. And heading. Set A, set cardinal back. turn on the GPS and drive. There we go. I think I'm really looking at doing alternate rows here with this track. It's a little bit bigger than the Massey, so running alternate rows is going to be easier because of the tractor size. But we are definitely making green stuff. Now, of course, the next question is, would a worker with a rake actually rake this stuff? And I'm not certain. It was like trying to run the tedder on unconditioned grass. The worker didn't like doing that. But once we made the grass conditioned, I could set a worker off on it and it was fine. So, yeah, having the right material on the ground does actually make a difference. Where workers are concerned, oh, I dropped some grass there. I really didn't want to do that. Okay. Anyway, what's the time? 9:30. So I need to go and make sure Mrs. Osa's awake in about an hour from now. And then she's got 30 minutes to get ready for the nurse arrival. As Agathe said, the nurse has said she'll be around about 11 o'clock, but we don't know that for sure, and we don't know what the roads are like. So the road conditions could mean that she's a little bit late. Something we didn't look at. Store sales. A bio baler. Ooh. I've never done poplars, ever. Well, I think I did once in Farm Sim 17 and said these suck, and never bothered doing them again. But a cheap bio baler could be a thing. It's about the only thing that makes wood chips even worth considering. I mean, the poplars you plant once, they'll grow forever. So you've got that. The bilo baler on its own costs an absolute fortune. And so doing that is just a big, giant, horrible mess. Because you're never, with the value of wood chips, you are never going to recover that. However, if the bio baler's on sale, that suddenly makes a big potential of, well, if you really, really do this, go hard at this, then you're going to end up with something a bit more valuable. Although that said, the other risk with wood chip bales is not all maps accept them, and so I think Cavalier Roy has been fairly sensible in that he hasn't modded. The only thing that's modded on this map are the animal enclosures for seriously stupid numbers. I mean, we can have 1,000 cows and 1,000 pigs in our 2 sheds, but outside of that, all of the other productions and sell points are standard in-game fare. So if the standard bioheating plant accepts wood chip bales, then it will on this map as well. I think it was Calmsden had an issue. I was watching someone on Calmsden, and they made some wood chip bales, and then they couldn't find anywhere to sell them because there wasn't a bio heating plant on the map, and none of the mod sell points that were included on the map accepted them either. Oxygen David might have corrected that oversight on one of the latter Calmsden updates, but initially, it's a challenge. Oh, I've just made a decision to produce something, and the equipment to use costs so much, and well, darn it, the map won't let me use it. Won't let me do the things. I'm going to lift that now so that we don't clip the grass. We can lower it back down. So I guess the only thing is once this is mowed, I can put the mower away. And I can think about using a windrower somewhere on one of the two tractors that we have available. Okay, I think what I'm going to do here, again, we'll lift it up just so I can make this turn. Drop it back down again. So yeah, base game, if I was to do this, I would just be making straw swaths. Which, if you're being a cow farm, and the only reason that you're growing wheat or barley or whatever is for the straw, then it's actually, My starting farm, I do not have to have a harvester. I do not need any harvesting equipment. I've got all of the mowing equipment available to mow grass and create hay and grass silage and what have you. And the only thing I'm short of is straw for the bedding, and as an optional component of TMR. So I can save myself in startup costs by just buying all of the mowing equipment that I need and growing a field of wheat or barley and just cutting it for the straw. With Maize Plus running, we're not producing straw, we're producing whole crop silage. So now the only way I can produce straw, or get straw, should I say, is probably the better way of saying it, is to buy it at the store, or get a harvester and create straw swaths out of the bag. So more expensive startup cost. Anyway. We are racing through this, and obviously I don't have narrow tyres on the Massey. The Massey is really a yard tractor that can be used for light field work. So a lot of the time I'll set a worker off mowing with it, and I'll set a worker off, I'll swap it out and windrow, and then I'll swap it out and bale, and I'll use my bigger tractors for other tasks around the farm. But in this situation, we could destroy this crop driving on it, and until I get a front mower. If I get a front mower, then it doesn't matter because the crop is cut in front of the tyres, so there's no crop destruction. And when I get a front mower, we're probably going to end up using the big green tractor for all the mowing tasks, because we'll get a big butterfly mower for the back as well. Still, how many rows we got? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 in this one. So we're nearly done here, and the production map, yield map, is looking very nice and very green, which which is basically what we want. I have no idea the relative production levels of wheat versus barley versus oats for this matter. And so, yeah, I'm guessing that barley produces more, but without doing a multi-year, okay, we'll plant wheat in this field, see how much we get, we'll plant barley in this field, see how much we get. I've got no real scientific way of saying, you know, how much do we get for each. Just a bit. But also, the other thing to think is, if I am producing whole crop, oats are more valuable. Oats will produce more flour, and so it's probably better to when I grow oats, to reap the entire crop and use that as flour, just because it's a better yield than the other two. If I want to plant sorghum, again, that doesn't produce. I could probably whole crop it, but sorghum is very valuable and also a good high yielding product. So, you know, I kind of don't want to waste the regular yield on something that all we're going to do with this is feed cows. And it just makes sense to use the least valuable crop to use as your animal food. So, yeah. Again, philosophies of farming simulator farming. Get the most out of everything that you can. I'm going to lift this. I'm actually going to head north over the grass and get straight lined up on this last row. And once that is lined up, lower it and go choppy choppy. Okay, so we have now got chopped green stuff on the ground. Again, I'm assuming it's going to fit in the Anderson. Now, obviously, two options here. We can go and get ourselves a forage wagon or a forage harvester with a crop pickup head and just pick this stuff up into a wagon and take it back. You stick it into a silage clamp, you compact it, you cover it, and it's all good. Or you can do what we're about to do. Hope it all works out. Obviously this is going to be a little bit more tricksy with this tractor than it is with the Massey, because this tractor's a little bit bigger. Actually, I think the mower goes in the other bay, but it doesn't matter. If I can get it in this one, it's good enough. So yeah, over the course of this month, obviously we're probably looking at putting the mulching heads on that mower and going out and mulching the two fields that we've harvested. And that's going to be an extra day of work we do on the farm that isn't a usual thing. It may happen today, yeah. Still, it's before 8 o'clock, so we've got a lot of time before we need to start thinking about all the things that need to get done. But I'm kind of looking at getting these fields, obviously all the crop and straw lifted from these fields at the earliest opportunity. Lower that, turn it on. Let's refactor that. I'm still good. Well, no, I'm not. I have to set cardinal back. So that will reset the crop width on this. Obviously, this first row is not lined up. I'm going to row this bit. Honestly, don't know how much crop we're going to get into the baler. So I think at the end of this row, we'll go grab the baler and just run down this row and see, yeah, how things work out. I don't expect that. The problem is I don't expect to get a significant amount of product off this field, which may or may not be a bad thing, but it may leave us short on whole crop silage for the coming year. Okay, that'll do. Other way. Okay, we're still on big bales. And I think I'll move the extractor down to the cow barn. And turn that on. Let's go see what sort of yield we get. Okay, icons changed to whole crop, so that's good.